difference in this chart than what's up top, okay? At the top chart, I gave you the 3 measurements and asked you, can it be a triangle? Now I'm giving you 2 measurements, and I'm asking you guys, what can be the third side? Now realize why we will have a range of answers, okay? There is 2 ways that we can look at these measurements. One, we can treat 3 and 5 like they are the 2 shorter sides of the triangle. Those are the 2 shorter sides of the triangle. Then I know that my third side cannot exceed 8, correct? Hang on to your thought, but yes, you're on the right idea, okay? The other idea, I'm going to address it, okay? The other idea is that 5 could actually be the largest side, right? Where 3 would be one of the 2 smaller sides, which means in that case that the sum of 3 and some other number would have to be greater than 5, right? So you're on the right track, sort of, right? So let's talk about kind of getting some numbers to talk about, right? So this was the easiest one, right? Saying that 3 and 5 were the 2 smaller sides, right? So we understand from that chart up top that I know my, this number 8 has to exceed that third possible side, meaning that third possible side can be anything under 8. It could be 7, it could be 6, it could be 5. It can't be 8. Can it be 7.5? Yeah. Yes, because 7.5 is less than 8. Can it be 7.75? Can it be 7.99999? Yes, it can, because it's less than 8. So how do I express that? I show that with an inequality. My unknown side, which we'll call x, has to be less than 8. Not 8, not over 8, less than 8. Okay? Now, my third possible side, assuming that it's going to be the shortest possible side of this triangle, okay? Now you know that it has to be less, the sum of them has to be less than 5, right? So how can I figure that out? Well, I could take my 2 known sides and subtract them. And I get 2. Well, what about 2? Can it be less than 2? No, right? Because 3 plus 1 would be 4. And 4 is less than 5, right? Which tells me I can't have a triangle, okay? Can it be 2? No, because 3 plus 2 equals 5, and it has to be greater than 5. Can it be 3? Yes, right? Because 3 plus 3 is 6 is greater than 5. So you're good with 3. You're good with 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is greater than 5, right? Can it be 2.5? 3 plus 2.5 is 5.5. 5.5 is greater than 5. So it works. Can it be 2.1? Go ahead.
But doesn't it have to be the smallest size, so can it not be more than 3?
Yeah, we said 1 and 3 doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
3 plus 1 is 4. 4 is less than 5.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't work. You need it to be greater than 5. Your 2 smaller sides need to exceed your largest side.
So
You're assuming that 5 now is the longest side. You're finding what is the possible shortest side.
it has to be smaller than 3 and plus 3 to equal 5. Not higher than 5.
Right. Right? So then we said 2.5 would work, right? But we said 2 doesn't work. So my next question is 2.1.
Yes.
3 plus 2.1 is 5.1. Definitely greater than 2. Greater than 5. 2.01.
Yes.
It works. 5.01 is greater than 5. How can I write this as an inequality?
X.
Has to be
X. I don't know.
greater than
5. 3.
2. Has to be greater than 2.
Okay.
This is how you find the range of your possible unknown side. It has to be greater than the difference of the two known, greater than the difference, and it has to also be less than the sum of the two known sides, okay? But then we take this and we write it as a compound inequality, okay? How do we write a compound inequality out of this? Compound inequalities go from least to greatest with your variable in the middle. This is the one that didn't switch order, so that stays. And that one switches order, so you switch the inequality sign. So that is read as 2 is less than x, which has to be less than 8. Okay? Let's do one more together. What are the two known sides here?
4.
Okay. The smallest possible side is found by taking the numbers and subtracting them. But it must be greater than the difference. So let's find the difference. Think about why this one makes sense. The difference here is 0. Can you have a distance of 0? No. So this one makes total sense why it has to be greater than the difference. But it can also be less than the sum. Well, let me do this and then rewrite it. So as a compound inequality, 0 is less than x, which is less than 8. Okay. I'm going to have you do the next row. Go ahead and do that on your own quickly. The last row, you can try it. We'll go over it, but I actually want to write it down in words as well. So take about 30 seconds and finish the next row. No, but I got a hand. All right, who wants to help me? The possible smallest side has to be greater than 3. The possible largest side has to be, you got it. As a compound inequality, I can write
3 is less than x, which is less than
Okay. I'm going to walk you through this one, okay? This is kind of developing a rule here. I'm giving you, variables. So it's kind of something like you can always find, okay? So it says the difference, okay? It has to be greater than the difference. But it's got to be less than the sum. Okay. So as a compound inequality, And now I'm going to write it down in words. Don't feel like you have to write this down. It's only if you want to. Okay? So to find the possible smallest side, okay, that's where it has to be less than the difference. I'm literally telling you in words what you wrote here, okay? To find the possible largest side, it has to be greater. Wait a minute, I wrote that. When were you guys gonna stop me?
Stop.
Less than the sum. Okay? Smallest possible side has to be greater than the difference. The largest possible side has to be less than the sum. Okay? When you're done with that, flip it over and then do 9 through 15 odds. 9 through 15 odds.